Symbolism in the Order of the Eastern Star, just for members. The power of culture of the Order of the Eastern Star. Indeed, from the most primitive communities, the individual ability to produce thought has traveled in history, undergoing small modifications forced by time. Many times, these thoughts have been recorded in magical drawings kept in ancient caves as a reflection of a culture. The word culture, in its traditional meaning, expresses a way of thinking, reveals teachings, feelings, forms of behavior common to a group that has respect and awareness for them. Morris collected a particular knowledge of the ancient traditions that he organized and has implemented in a cultural production, as he himself declares, original. This transcendental work is the foundation of the Order of the Eastern Star. With the passage of time and the assimilation of the idea, the Order of the Eastern Star was powerfully consolidated in the society that was developing. But Morris and his thoughts had to survive the critical and political musings of his time. Worse still, when an obtuse community became aware that this thought encouraged a group of men and women to make forays down the path of their anima. Before talking about the importance of the culture of the Order of the Eastern Star, in order to understand it better, we need to meet Robert Morris. But I clarify that this work is not a biography of our master builder. Dr. Morris was a thin, medium-sized man who loved God, his country, Freemasonry, and his family above everything. Robert was a man of faith and a sensitive spirit who had a special taste for grammar. Moreover, he was an expert in rhetoric, and to survive in a changing world, a competent politician. Morris was simple, elegant, and measured in his ways. Perhaps we can define him as a man of peace with a refined spirit who loved literature. He enjoyed poetry, read Homer and Virgil, and Gregorian music, like many enlightened young people of his time. Dr. Morris was a writer of original genius, outstanding in the art of composition, which earned him the title of Poet Laureate of Freemasonry. Some sources point out that his love for his wife inspired him to develop an order where the ladies of the Masonic family could channel the wellspring of love for the neighbor that they possessed. But we must be aware that without the knowledge resulting from his research, Morris would not have been able to develop this wonderful work. Robert's research for Masonry led him down the path of the Eastern Star and motivated him to focus his resources on a journey to the Middle East. The purpose of this trip was to find certain relics that would demonstrate what he premonished: the antiquity and origin of Freemasonry, the antiquity and origin of the Eastern Star. In 1866, Robert Morris transferred the organizational authority of the Order of the Eastern Star to Robert McCoy to undertake a long journey. Physical boundaries did not exist for Morris, and on May 13, 1868, he performed the first recorded Masonic ceremony in the Holy Land, in the cave of Sedikia, also known as King Solomon's Quarry. But this was not the only trip Morris made to such distant lands. Later, in 1873, he returned to Jerusalem, where he formally established the Royal Solomon Mother Lodge No. 293, consecrated on May 7, 1873. It was Morris's dream to integrate, in the most absolute freedom, participating members of multiple nationalities, as well as Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Dr. Morris was an informed and dedicated investigator. He believed in what he had discovered. Nobody could interfere with Morris's ideology. The poet writes, composes, creates in his own way, according to his knowledge, his skill, and art that will make the beauty of his letters, forms, and content a permanent legacy for humanity. The ritual written by the poet is the source and cornerstone of an extraordinary and magnificent culture that through paradigms opens the way to an expression at a higher level of consciousness, more subtle, refined, and reserved for a few. Robert Morris, lover of philosophy, literature, and the arts, preserves in his artistic expression a mystery capable of being revealed by a prepared heart. The Order of the Eastern Star is the repository of an untouchable legacy, to a certain extent sacred. This ancient culture has been inherited to humanity through the centuries, and it was shared with us by Robert Morris, an extraordinary connoisseur of the human soul, to organize us as a special community. The Order of the Eastern Star practices a culture of dignity, thought, beauty, a culture that is not commercialized or subjected to external factors such as those of political power or commerce that only seeks money and turns individuals into disposable products. But in the name of progress, many times, ideas of changes have arisen in some, perhaps fascinated by modernity and technology, who do not understand that the beauty of the order and its mysteries are protected in their forms that must be respected and not modified arbitrarily. Ignorance of some members about certain laws of a metaphysical nature, especially when they occupy positions of power, place our organization in front of a terrifying reality that supposes the burial of what has been understood so far by its culture and human character. All members owe respect and pledge to preserve its culture. Morris's legacy. History repeatedly shows that communities lose identity when they forget their culture and do not recognize themselves among their peers. The Order of the Eastern Star is heir to an endearing ethic, to aesthetic forms of great delicacy, of thought, knowledge, and of ancestral wisdom. She recreates a space where silence helps the truth to germinate. The mystery surrounding the organization is intended to prevent its perverse manipulation or destruction. Our culture finds its strength and power in faith, in the wisdom of its teachings, in the allegorical writing of our ritual, and in the honor of the members of the Order of the Eastern Star.